Let's talk about the time that Clark Kent revealed to the world that he was Superman. So we see Big Blue floating down into a crowd in front of the Daily Planet, and all the people are out there wondering what this huge press conference is about. Why would Perry White call this? And as Superman floats down and lands behind the podium, he begins to give everyone their answer. He addresses the crowd and says, "You all know me. I'm Kal-El. I'm Superman. I come from another planet." But now he's ready to reveal that there's something else that they don't know about him. Now, before the big reveal, let's take a look back at all the things that led Clark up to this. See him at a meeting of the United Planets where he is Earth's representative. While there, the Man of Steel catches up with Adam Strange and tells him how much all this business with his father has really been bothering him. In case you all are wondering at this point, Jor-El had came back, turned out he wasn't that great of a guy and had done some really shitty stuff. That's when Clark tells Adam Strange about how he has a dual life, a real job, and that he's just a human like everybody else. In spirit, anyway. After finding out all the dirty secrets that his father was keeping, he doesn't want to keep that same legacy, and his dual identity is starting to feel more like a big lie. Now, Superman has already talked to Perry and has set up his press conference, but Clark is sitting there nervously at work and decided that Perry deserves the right to find out on his own. Despite all of his huge battles, struggles, fights, world-ending threats, Clark is actually nervous. But he musters up the strength anyway, and reveals his biggest secret to his longtime boss and friend, Perry. And while stunned at first, Perry gets up immediately and runs over and gives his old pal a hug. Clark decides there's one more person in his life who deserves the truth before the rest of the public gets a hold of it. And while he's working on a crime scene, we see the Man of Tomorrow float down and tell his old pal Jimmy Olsen that the two of them need to talk. Sets him down on a nearby roof and tells Jimmy that he owes him this, that he's been a loyal and good friend to him all of these years, and hell, there's been times that he's almost died just because he's known Superman. Pulling his glasses out of his pocket and putting them on the face, he tells Jimmy it's your picture to publish if you want it. Confused, Jimmy says, "Picture of what?" He tries to tell him, he says, "Jimmy, I'm Clark Kent," and Jimmy just says, "I don't get it. Is this a joke? Is this an impression?" All I see here is Superman wearing a pair of glasses. Clark says, "You knew, didn't you?" And Jimmy busts out in laughter. He says, "Yeah, Lois called me this morning." Clark brings up his interaction with Jimmy to Lois, and she says, "Well, he was really emotional when I first told him." And Lois asks Clark concerningly if he needs to take some time off to process all of this. It's huge, it's monumental. And Clark simply asks if she needs him to take the day off, and she says, "Oh hell no, she's been writing this piece in her head since their honeymoon." Which Clark replies that maybe he has too. Now back at the conference, we see Clark telling the crowd that while they know the first part of the story, he's a child from Krypton, they don't know the second part. That his name is Clark Kent, and he's a mild-mannered reporter at the Daily Planet. His ship landed in Kansas, where he was raised by two wonderful people, Jonathan and Martha Kent. They taught him the values that he uses every day and how to help people that can't always help themselves. Why the two identities? Because they raised him as a normal person, a human, just like everyone else. Identity helped keep his family safe, but now he wants people to know how proud he is of his life as Clark Kent, and to keep that a secret almost feels dishonest. Proud of his heritage from Krypton and from Earth. When he shows up to save people, he wants to represent the best of both.